That's what I did. I'm stupid. I hit start streaming instead of start recording. So maybe that's why it didn't record anything. But oh well. This is trial and error. So yeah, if you want to back into that corner, you can definitely back into that corner. Just basically you say disengage and then you move, use your movement action, and then you'll use your bonus action as your perception.
Can we only go straight, or can we go around corners?
You can go around corners. Just count how many squares. So you go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would technically get you to here.
So what if I do 6 up here, and then I can do...
So basically you would hit here for your disengage, and then right now you're using move. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You could turn around the corner.
Yeah, I'm going to turn around the corner.
Okay. And you roll me a perception.
There. Alrighty.
You don't really notice anything in on this side. You've kind of hit the wall, and you kind of look along the walls, and you kind of look more in detail, and it looks like it does have glyphs and all that on it, and like strange lines that seem to kind of flicker with light. But overall, it gives the illusion that the walls seem to glow. But you don't see anything else that would technically help you. Denver. What do you do, Denver?
Well, I guess I'll go here.
Sure.
And perception.
Okay. Technically, you notice that the wall ends here. It is a circular room, but I'm going to be horrible at drawing a circle on this one. And, it kind of ends here. Again, the walls are glowing. You don't seem to see any other soldiers at the moment, or animated automatons. Jeremy. Oh yeah, I forgot to do that. I'll do it after your turn.
Five. Go there.
Now, are you moving?
I'm, what do you call it?
What's that word?
Disengage?
Yes. Yeah. So
Denied.
so yeah, they do not get an act. That one does not get an attack opportunity. So yeah, you move 5.
I'm just grabbing some food. I'll be back.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'm going to move there.
Okay. Is that all you're gonna do?
I guess I'll look around, see what I see.
Sure.
My angle.
Roll a perception.
What is perception?
D20 plus your wisdom, and if you're proficient, then you get your proficiency modifier.
Let's see. I do have perception. So my perception is +4, then it's +2.
Yeah,
Or
if you're proficient, it'll be your wisdom modifier, which is, would you say, +2?
or like my wisdom modifier is +4.
So
So
4 plus your proficiency with 2 if you're proficient at it, and then you would get basically
6 altogether.
yeah, +6.
Right. So 1d20 +6.
Yeah.
17.
You kind of see the same thing as Tyler's character. You don't actually see. You see that the walls seem to be more ornate in nature, and seem to flicker with, a charge. Like, it seems to be almost like if you some kind of science, and at a game it would be like would look like circuitry.
Oh, all right.
I am going to do my one thing, which I said I was going to do. Oh, he gets hit again. You notice that for the Vean, you see that this guy gets hit again by lightning, and it seems to almost heal it in an unnatural way. It seems to be absorbing the lightning. The bad guys. So the one on the Vean. Battle of the Armor. He fails. The other one decides to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Starts to shimmer, and 1, 2, 3.
This lightning's coming out of the wall, yes?
Yeah. Seems to, right now it seems to be only striking in one place. You'd think lightning doesn't strike twice in the same place, but apparently in this game it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Apparently it knows how to move across the board. It swings at you, but apparently these ones are all very sluggish machines and do not hit. Jason.
Attack the guy in front of me again.
Sure. No.
Not a hit. Extra attack. Not a hit.
Tyler.
So is the wall exposed to circuitry?
Basically it seems to be embedded like that. The metal shine, it almost, as you kind of look at it, it's another composite. It's almost like you want to say glass, because it's almost, when you look at it closer, it's actually see-through.
Am I able to read these glyphs?
What do you know how to read? You know words?
I know how to read Dwarven and Elvish.
I'll say it's in Dwarf. Very ancient script. Seems to talk about in case of emergencies, there is a manual shutdown. There's a way to turn it off.
Oh.
But it does not give you where they are. It just says in case of an emergency, go and override. And actually, no, I'll give you more. It'll say override, and it says in section H12. And because of your perception before, you know that you kind of follow some of the wiring and all that kind of mechanism, and you see in kind of small fonts in Dwarven, it kind of represents as you're currently looking at A11.
And the other one's an H what?
It says manual shutdown around H12. H12. And you're currently looking at A. And all, you try to trace all the circuitry, and all on this area seems to be A or B.
Wait, so what language is this stuff in?
Seems to be dwarf, but you're at the moment you haven't gotten a clear impression. You just see glyphs, just because of Tyler's roll. Like he rolled a 25. He's actually, apparently his eagle eyes. He gets the impression of a little more to this script. For everyone else, it's either magical or, more of a pattern than not. So, do you do anything else?
I'm gonna move.
Sure.
Can I move down here? Yeah.
Yeah, you're running.
All right. Gonna run there.
Okay. Start of the order. So again, lightning strikes. And let's hope that I don't freaking roll the same. 3. That's a good. 1, 2, 3. Jeremy, roll me a dex.
Saving?
It is technically, yeah. It is if that is your skilled and that save. Yes, it is a saving throw.
Oops. No, I'm not proficient in it.
So it'll
But do I
just
still
be
count my modifier? Or...
You'll just get D20 plus your dex modifier. But if that was your save, you get the proficiency.
Oops, I hit it twice.
Yeah. So
21.
As you're trying to avoid this guy's blades, even though they're sluggish. They seem to be picking up at the pace a little bit. You kind of veer back, and you notice lightning kind of arch from the walls and just kind of go over where you kind of were standing before, and strike into another wall. Denver, it is your go. And you have to go at 8, right?
Is Denver still getting food?
Oh, yes, he's probably getting food. Well, while we wait, Jeremy.
Yeah.
We'll go to your turn.
Right.
Find the damn switch.
Now, technically, because you didn't tell anyone, they are not aware of this.
All right.
They
No metagaming. You don't know, Jeremy. Forget the switch.
Know. Till he shouts.
That's all gibberish to me?
Yeah, unless you keep on looking. Like right now, you're technically bent on looking. So
Because
if
I
you
am
roll high, you
I
could
knew
potentially.
I do know Dwarven. That's one of my languages.
So potentially, if you perceive them a little better, you might be able to see that it's actually a Dwarven script. But at the moment, you're kind of looking at it and it's like, yeah, the walls are metallic, but technically there's more to these walls. But right now you are currently engaged in combat.
shillelagh club of
Sure.
wood.
Yeah. So your bonus action, you shillelagh, and you can strike.
Yeah. That's 1d20 plus 4.
Yeah,
All
because
right.
that's based on your
Wisdom
wisdom
modifier.
modifier. Yeah.
Okay. See if I hit 15.
No.
God.
These guys look like they're heavy. Like, that's why they're moving so sluggishly. Denver, here we go.
All right. So we're now in fight mode.
You notice, actually not from your vantage point. Tyler's character is running around. He seems to have a plan, but he hasn't shared it with the rest of the group. Jeremy's Nate's decided to stand firm and try to swing at these guys. The Vean seems to be in a epic struggle against this one, as both of them have basically the same armor class. And they're like, no, this is gonna be a long fight for that one. And one, it seems to be, following you, as it again could chunk as it tries to move towards you.
And they're slow.
They seem to be.
Yeah.
The light, they looks like they're trying to pick up the pace, but the only one that seems to actually be moving the fastest of them is the one that was hit by lightning.
Well, no. These things look much more menacing than a skeleton, and they hurt me.
Yes, the skeletons
And I was
have,
told
but
puzzle. So.
yeah. So what does that
I'm gonna
mean?
be a little more.
Pull out your sword and attack.
It's gonna be a little more cautious.
Okay.
And run down there. Can I fit there? Is that where I'm gonna be? All right. Can I have perception as a bonus, I guess?
Sure. Now you notice, even though there's kind of there's a wall here, most of this room seems to be glowing blue. You actually see almost red pulses coming from here.
Mm-hmm.
Right there. With that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The big guy, tired of running and chasing Denver's character, turns and chunks and moves towards Tyler.
Oh boy.
My God, I'm rolling horribly for these guys.
Thank God.
Your turn. Oh, finally one hits.
No.
So yeah, the epic battle still continues with the whole armor versus armor. Good work, champ. Jeremy, you're using your Nadero skills and dodging. You literally dodge lightning.
That's lightning!
Tyler, as you're kind of running, you unfortunately do get clocked by one of his swings. But he's technically not a lot of damage. You're just taking 7 points. Jason.
Attack!
Okay.
19.
Hit.
Yes.
Our epic struggle has changed from a
10.
stalemate. Good.
21. Yes.
Another hit.
19. Fuck yeah.
It's futile.
Why is it futile?
Isn't the lightning healing?
So you put some good gouges into this one, and you feel happy. Yay, good job, Tyler.
All right. Action.
So you could attack. You could try to disengage.
I'm gonna
Try to
gonna
parlay with it.
How long do you want to speak this?
I just want to say like a couple words.
And it's fine in the middle of fighting, isn't it?
You
But I also
can
want to
do
disengage
brief
and
little
move.
chats. It's basically like about 30 seconds. So you're like, we gotta find the off switch. We gotta find the off switch.
Yeah, that's what I want to yell. Like, find the freaking off switch. Because I think Denver might have fucking found it down there.
Yeah. So you echo, and it bounces on the wall. Everyone can hear you as you're like,
Yeah.
you gotta turn off it. Gotta shut it down. Shut it all down. And that's technically that would be your bonus action. It's or
Alright.
just basically it actually I think it's a free action to just shout.
Can I disengage?
Sure.
All right. How far can I move when I disengage?
So again, your normal movement, so five squares, and again you're trying to avoid him, so you can't go through his range.
Alright.
Basically,
Right.
Yeah.
Moving there then. And I can't move anymore, right?
You can use disengage is your action. You technically have a movement action, so you could move another 5. I might be wrong, but we're just gonna move the pace a bit.
All right.
I'm assuming
Moving down here.
Osuke, do you know dwarf? Or Denver, do you know a dwarf?
I do not know dwarf.
You'll need a dwarf expert.
Is there dwarven by the red blinky light?
He hasn't seen it yet, but before that, another lightning strike. Choo-choo, choo-choo. And I'm gonna actually roll this.
I'm not allowed to use perception because I did this.
You can, but you basically 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So Osuke, you are rolling a dex, and 1, 2. Jeremy, you are also rolling me a dex.
Joy.
So you're taking 6 points of damage as you get hit by lightning, and it makes you feel like the shock go through you, but it does leave your body and enter one of the walls. Again, Jeremy seems to be faster than lightning as he does another dodge. Another arc comes towards him.
This feeling of lightning.
It tingles.
Maybe I should use this.
So Denver, it is your go. So you see this and you notice there's all these levers and buttons, and it looks like an old script that you have no idea what it says.
Oh.
Do you want to attempt to try to randomly push buttons?
Oh God!
Please.
I'm gonna shout it out. I found the off
Do
switch.
you want to? You don't see anything that technically. What do you say? You press all the buttons?
I'm gonna shout. I see an off switch. Pull a lever.
Alright.
What? Oh, it's almost there.
You hear the sounds of a door opening kind of behind you, and then you see another shambling thing come out.
Come on!
That wasn't the off switch.
I think you should start, pumping it and see how, if it works that way. It's just, they just start dumping into the room.
Flick it a couple more times.
So yeah, you try it and you hear the shoosh of a door, and technically the door disappears, and you see this automaton basically enter the room, and then the door vanishes. Jeremy, you hear the shouts of Denver's character.
Off switch. Yep. Fuck. I'm going to disengage.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's my guy there.
So we can move 30 if we're not engaged? Is that how it works?
Yeah. Basically, you have, depending on what race you are, because we're all human. Their movement is 30. If you were a halfling or a smaller race, then your movement is shorter. You don't have the legs. I think it's 25.
It's not 30 squares. It's 30 feet. Each square is 5 feet.
It's 5 feet, yeah. So that's why you're moving. No, it's actually should be square. Yeah, 6 squares. I can't do math. All right, so you disengage, and you kind of run towards where your comrade, like where the voice came from. Bad guys. He going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. He actually moves to you. And 1, 2,
I'm back.
3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So, the one on Sasuke, he hits, but he's only doing 5 damage to you, Denver. And the other one swings at, man, you're just not wanting to be hit, Jeremy. As he swings, and you seem to be,
He's doing the Matrix.
He's doing the Matrix moves. Jason.
10. Fail. 14. Is that a hit? I
No.
don't think it is.
At least
You
it
have to
can't.
fight
It seems not to
continue.
be able to hit you. Tyler.
Alright. I move 8 to get around this wall and in front of this control panel.
All right. So you kind of push Osuke out of the way as you're like, stop
Yes.
pressing their buttons.
Dumbass.
I'm going to have you, as you see it, all these words on it. It is dwarf, and you're picking up. However, it is still technically a complicated piece of machinery. Roll me an intelligence.
Oh, God.
Hey.
Oh, no.
And you're what, 8? So you're -1.
Oh shit! What am I rolling?
So you're rolling a d20 -1. You think you understand this, and
I
think. Well, with that roll, you think that technically the main shut off button is right here, and you do technically press it, and you hear a random charge go off in the room, and
Son of a bitch.
Sorry.
Better not be me.
I thought I could make it good.
it seems to go for just high or low, Jeremy.
Oh, son of a bitch, not this again.
Just
Hi.
because.
Hi.
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 Okay. There we go. So it's actually
Yes!
going to hit you, Tyler. So roll me a dex.
What?
I sometimes I'll play the high and low games. So if you pick right, better, something something better happens. But if you roll bad, then something worse happens. So because you guys are kind of in the same area, I decided to. So yeah, you're just gonna roll a d20, but have no modifier. So you get hit for six points of lightning damage. As basically you realize you hit the wrong button, as almost like the lightning surges from that button and literally zaps you, and you're like, no, that's wrong. That's bad. That's bad.
So did I die?
You only take 6 points of damage. So.
Oh, okay. I saw 83. Then I got scared.
No, that's the high and low game.
Okay.
That damage would incinerate anybody.
Shit.
Nadaros seems to be good at catching Chidori's.
Denver, are you smart?
It might take a combination of people.
Who's
smart?
You shout out.
+1.
You shout out. Who here is intelligent?
Who is trained in words?
All right. So technically, that's your round. So more lightning goes off.
Yeah, son of a bitch.
So it will dex for the Vean. 1, 2, 3, and dex for Osuke. So Denver's character.
Yusuke?
11.
2 points of damage.
2 points of damage. For me?
For you. The one who has not taken any
What
damage.
is this bullshit? How am I taking damage? Me should never take damage.
5 damage to your character, Denver.
Shit.
Wait, did I roll? Did I roll for more HP? For 5th level?
I don't know.
5. Who cares? I'm at 41 health. Whatever.
What if this isn't even the freaking off switch?
Now you're dead. Denver, it is your go.
Well,
Jeremy, you trained in
first my character needs to confirm something.
He's
You can
alive.
read this, right? No, just say that to Tyler there.
Yes.
As you notice, like little static shocks coming from his hair as it's all kind of up. He looks even more crazy than he used to, which is hard to believe.
He said yes.
Overthetop blessed me with the power to read, not the power to think critically.
He will guide my
said
next
yes.
button push.
I am going to smash Lele still act by my hatred.
Okay.
Hatred.
So you're gonna hit
I don't remember
the
if it was 10
automaton.
minutes or, yeah. However, I'll reapply my hatred anyway.
Yeah, as long as you don't drop it, you should have Shillelagh. So no, that is not a hit. I want to say it's a hit, but it's not a hit. Jeremy.
Alright, I'm going to fucking run around this guy to idiots while I get hit.
Yeah, because you're going to now. Technically,
Yep,
if you're going to do that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, because you have to run through him instead of running away. So you're not. We're gonna say you're technically not disengaging. So he does swing, and what is your main AC? 15. Is that Jeremy, your AC is 14, so I do hit. And you're taking 7 points of damage.
Oh, fuck.
How many buttons are on this console?
2 minutes.
Too many.
There's 2 levers. So we'll say well, Jeremy or Denver hasn't said what he did before you arrive. There's 2 levers and there's 6 buttons.
Shit.
Now,
one no button.
that running was my action, right?
What direction are the levers going in?
Up and down, kind of like slot machines.
Oh,
Now,
shit.
question: am I able to still can I see the levers where I am?
Yeah. So technically, that wouldn't have been a run. That would be basically a move because you only moved a few squares. So you do have that's your movement. So you could potentially do another movement. Not sure why, but But you are right now in the middle of combat.
Right, but can I see all the switches?
Yeah. From your vantage point, I'll say yes. You can.
All right.
Pick out.
Can I read and understand what fucking button we have to hit to shut this off?
Roll.
Try not being
A lot of it's kind of gibber. Like it makes it's a dwarven. You understand it as dwarf, but it's reroute blah blah blah, and a lot of technical jargon.
Or?
So roll me an intelligence.
What's your intelligence, Jeremy? Is it high?
You think you know what it is.
I don't like this think word you're throwing around.
Well, for him, it would be basically he's like, I know what it is, and it's that lever right there.
All right.
Now you could try to pull it on your turn, and I'm gonna say let's have you do a con save.
Oh, why can't save?
Because it's basically you're like, I want to end this right now, and you'll jump at the lever, but
right.
You might be resolute and like no.
Don't
Actually, no. Let's say it's a wisdom. Will you do
fuck yeah.
which technically is up your alley. Yes. So
11.
you go for the lever.
The lever that hasn't been pulled?
He doesn't actually realize it as he pulls the lever, and you hear the sound of a door.
Oh, no.
It was technically the same lever that Denver pulled.
So are they both in the up position or the down position?
He's now put it back to the up, so it seems like every time you pull it, it just does the same action. So now both of them are
after he pulls it. I'll just be like, yeah, not that one. That one's no good.
Not that one. And technically, he does get an attack, but he does miss as you kind of basically go under his blade to pull the lever. Like you're like, yeah, I'm gonna shut the whole machine down, and no, you don't. Bad guys.
Oh boy.
What?
Oh my god, there's so many of them.
The epic fight.
Oh god.
Vean up there.
So I'm gonna be nice, and one's actually going to go after Denver's character.
Nice.
So only 3 points of damage. The other two, however, they are technically only in the threat range of Jeremy.
Oh, thank God I got a meat shield.
Defend me! Defend me!
Defend me, oh mighty help! Help me!
So one hits you for 5, and the other one hits you for 3. So you're taking 8 damage in this round.
Oh, son of a bitch. I'm so fucking dead almost.
Jeremy, or Jason's character. Oh, he actually manages to hit finally. You're taking 5 points of damage.
No.
As
Taking
he,
what damage?
He rages his hand and is like, yeah, I finally got one in. Which really, it's just a drop
I
in
was
the
picturing
bucket.
like both of you standing there like, "Ting."
It's Rock'em Sock'em
Like,
robots, as
shot
they're
for
just
shot.
basically are knocking each other's blocks, trying to knock each other's blocks off. Jason, it is your go.
Attack.
That's
Yes.
a hit. Yeah.
Fuck yes. 9. Fuck you, robots. 19. Yes. 9. I got 18 damage. Yes.
All right.
Total 37.
It basically, and I'm gonna have you do a dex.
Oh, okay. 21.
So you back up as you do enough slices that you notice that the energy inside kind of blows outwards, and then chunks of metal, or the armor seems to kind of fly all over the place.
Yes. I am a successful boy.
I am a god.
No, I'm a successful boy. No god. Just successful boy.
Okay. So yeah, you finally managed to take it out. Do you want to do any movement?
Yeah, sure. I'll move over to where the guys are.
Yeah, you hear screams and shouts from that corner as they're like, "Pull that one, pull that."
I'll save you.
All right. So yeah, you can move your 6 squares. Okay. Tyler.
Oh, are you boys ready for this? Shit's about to get real.
Oh, boy.
You're
So
doing another
know
intelligence?
one button and one slot, or one
So, I scream at the top of my lungs. Over the top guide me. I pull both levers in the down position and rub my hand against the entire console for good measure.
Oh my fucking god!
roll. So what are you doing? You're pulling both levers and you're
I'm
pressing all the
pulling both
buttons.
of them down and hitting every button.
All right.
Over the top thing buttons.
All right.
Faithful guide me. Since my brain can't do it.
You
Just wait for 30 to pour out.
I'm just thinking how this is gonna go. We're gonna play the high-low game though.
Oh no.
So basically, I roll a D10 or D100, so you can say whether it's high or low. So 50-50. So you can say low, and then it's 49 or under, and if it's high, it's 51 or 50 and over. For it, so high or low.
I'm going low.
Under or over the top protect you.
Oh, son of a bitch!
Oh.
So, technically-
Since over the top is random, should be changed.
Technically, this might have worked, this skill, but unfortunately, because you turned it off and then you hit the button that technically turns them back on,
Oh shit.
it does negate. But I'll give you an advantage on your next roll in regards to determining what actually did what. As basically
With my 8.
two more soldiers come out.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
As they're basically pouring out of this frickin' spot. Like billions of people in this clown car.
Oh my god.
4 lightnings will go off.
Oh, God, motherfucker.
Wait, you killed one?
Yeah, I did.
Holy shit!
One, two,
We should have just ran
three,
around in
four.
circles while Vean killed them all.
All right. So,
See,
Denver,
it's too
you're
little
rolling a dex, and
too late
Vean's
now.
rolling a dex, and
Uh,
2 of the lightnings
Jesus.
hit the same place. So you're fine, Jason. But sadly, you notice the lightning seems to be hitting the parts, and you start seeing the parts actually move back to the same spot.
God damn it!
He did kill it. It just came back.
And you're taking, Denver, 5 points of damage. Or no, 3. Just 3 points of damage.
I'm just like, I can't take too many more of these 5s.
Oh shit, that was Tyler's turn. So another lightning goes. Hits the same guy again, and
Me?
no, it hits the broken soldier.
Oh.
Broken soldier. So now he's in one part.
No!
You charge him again.
He's just like all
fuck.
reassembled and like points at you like,
Denver and Jeremy. Technically, when he did all that craziness, rolling me a perception.
Perception.
Sharingan. Oh my god, Sharingan, please.
You're too petrified at all these soldiers jumping out from this one invisible door.
Come on. Fuck.
I'd like to opt for my passive perception.
Do I also roll for perception?
You're technically getting the advantage. They saw you in horror as you press all of them, but they're not sure what events went because they were like traumatized at like what you just did. 'Cause you're like, "Ugh." And they're like, oh my god. So Denver, yeah, it is your go. You're not sure what he did, but it just seems to be making things worse. As literally all these soldiers seem to be, pouring out from this one spot.
Activate. Form of brown bear.
Okay. That's a good idea.
That's a good idea.
Well, technically, he gets the health increase for it. If you're low health, this will keep you alive. Jeremy.
Yeah, well, I thought like I would try to keep my brown bear for the boss.
Well, if you're at what health, you might
9.
want to be a bear. You might want to be a bear.
You might want to heal yourself.
Or
and
you
then
heal. Yeah, that's another option right there. Heal yourself. So yeah, you turn into a brown bear and you're circle the moon.
Yeah. So that was bonus.
So you can do your attacks.
What do I get for doing full defensive?
They have disadvantage on it hitting you.
Well, considering brown bear's AC.
So now technically one's only in your threat range because they're all pouring out in the same spot. There's not enough room, so they'll let you have to walk around to get to you guys.
I'll just bear it.
I'll just bear it. Whoa.
Wait, does 23 hit him?
Yes, it actually does.
There's my bite.
All right, and then your second.
There's the other bear necessities.
No. So you do manage to scratch it. Good. Jeremy.
What was it? I'm going to cure wound. I think that's what I want. Fuck's the thing out. There it is. Yeah, cure wounds on myself, which is a 1d8 plus spellcasting ability, which is just my wisdom, right?
Yeah. Wisdom plus your proficiency bonus. So,
Now, question: if I use it as a
you can turn into a bear as a bonus because of your, thank God,
Right.
your Circle of the Moon. If you
but
didn't,
like, but I'm just wondering that if I used it as a level 2
2d8.
spell, would it be so it'd be better? Or?
it depends on what the actual spell says. If it says at every higher level you get an extra point or whatever, then
Spell has no effect on it. I have levels when you cast spell, the slot of the second level or higher, health increases by 1d8 for each slot.
so yeah, if you're increasing, so it's level 1 spell. So if you add another, you do it at second level, you're now doing an extra d8. So yeah, 2d8 plus your wisdom and proficiency modifier.
Which is just
So I'm assuming,
plus
I think
4?
it's, well, your wisdom is 16, so you're getting what, the plus 3.
My wisdom is 18.
Oh, so yeah, you're still technically in that, or no?
So it's plus 4.
So you're getting plus 6. So
All right.
2d8 plus 6.
So, look at that health.
Good.
Look at all that health.
As you admire it, is that all you're gonna do?
I guess I'll turn into a bear.
You could try to go for a
I
leap.
don't want to die.
You could try to go for one of the buttons.
It's okay.
I'm going to do.
my hands,
I'm
Jerry.
going to do the So it's a piano, right? Like,
Yeah. So
Don't-
you roll.
Don't even.
You roll me and then basically another intelligence.
Don't
And
do it.
out of
One
trial and
second.
error, you technically know for sure that two buttons are actually no. For you, it's one lever is a no-go. You didn't actually see Tyler press that one button that fried him.
Right. So what do I need to do?
So just roll me an intelligence.
Right.
Dun, dun,
10.
dun. You randomly press another button and we'll technically add that to the concept of buttons and 1, 2. Tyler, roll me a dex. Actually, no. You guys are technically in the same square, so Tyler will do the opposites for you. High or low?
Hi.
It's gonna be low now.
So technically, it would hit you. So roll me a dex.
Alrighty.
The high-low game does not work for you people.
And I have no dexterity. Yes.
So yeah, so it's just a flat D20.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
You're taking 3 points of
No.
damage.
All right.
Lightning just comes it almost looks identical to what you did before. But in fact, you did not touch that button. Someone else.
Praise be the light.
It burns.
It's an omen from over the top.
All right. So their turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. 1, 2.
Oh no.
5.
Not
All
the
right.
prophet.
Your spidey senses are tingling. Alright, they all seem to not like the healer, the healing boy.
No, the healing boy. That's
Not
Jeremy,
you,
right?
the other healer.
Are all 3 of them healers?
Actually, technically, yes. The one who healed for 17. Let's just say that. The one who healed for 17. So you're taking first 3 points of damage, then you're taking 7 points of damage, and then you're taking 6 points of damage.
Okay. So wait.
So it's 5, 3. You're taking 14 in total. As basically they all turn to you and then start kind of wailing on you with swords.
They just like
This is your punishment for the button. You didn't get stabbed. You get pummeled
Like-
instead.
his wounds disappear. Hits a button. They're like, get him.
And the other one fails to hit the Vean. Jason, it is your go.
Nothing hits me.
I'm invincible. Lightning.
My turn.
Let's see. Will I get hit if I just dash past this guy and go there? Attack of opportunity, yes.
You haven't left his threat range, technically. You've just shifted
Oh, I haven't
over.
left his start
No.
range. Okay, I
Now, if you try to leave...
non-lethally tackle.
Oh my
The
god.
man in front.
Why? This never ends very well.
Okay.
Roll me your strength.
All right.
I figure out what
goes.
their technical...
If it comes up,
You know, the Vean likes
He
getting
likes...
surrounded and tackled.
Yeah. He's like, this is my game. This is my style.
So it's kind of like the perfect face for that scenario.
You embrace it. You give it, you know, you start hugging it. It's like I'm gonna put you down. I'm gonna put you down, boy. So yeah, he's technically in a grapple.
He's in a grapple. Perfect. Attack with advantage.
So you gonna suplex it?
No. Attack with advantage.
Yes.
Yes.
So you do hit.
He grappled the robot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
If
9 damage.
As long as it's not 2 sizes bigger than you, you can grab.
yeah, they're basically human. They're humanoids. Like they're average.
And if it's 1 size,
Tyler, it's up to you.
Okay.
Now you have the bonus, or you have advantage for intelligence.
Alright. What are we rolling?
Oh yeah, you're -1. So you're rolling 2d20s, and you're taking the highest roll. The highest.
The highest?
Yes. Which, hope to God, it works.
it's 20.
Wait, so do I roll 2 or do I roll 1?
Well,
and
you
then
technically can roll one at a time. So you can roll 1d20 -1, and then you roll another 1d20 -1. And
What-
then, depending on what
what
you roll,
saving throw am I doing?
you're doing intelligence. You're
Oh.
using your mind.
Oh, okay, so -1.
Yes. So, yeah.
Nice.
But you have advantage, so you're taking the highest roll.
Alright.
Hopefully the odds are in your favor after.
Over the top, save me now!
God.
Oh, God. No!
Now, over the top, or technically, if you wanted to, I would let you try to press all the buttons again in hopes to God you roll the high-low game properly.
Oh, fuck yeah, I'm pressing all the buttons again.
God, no.
All right. High or low? Now, do you guys want to?
High.
High.
Hi.
Well, wait, does he know that button I pressed, so he doesn't press that one again? Which is lightning?
Oh my god, I hate this.
So again, he gets frustrated and presses all the buttons and throws.
Somebody break the console.
okay.
Technically, I'll say this: roll me a wisdom. Let's see if you were smart enough to not to, because technically you know what the levers are, but in your crazy state, you start doing all the.
Roll you a wisdom.
Roll me a wisdom.
I'll roll you a wisdom. Is that a D20?
Yeah, D20
Yes.
plus your wisdom bonus, which is +3, and you are smart enough not to pull the lever. So no more soldiers but lightning does randomly, because you do what, the trick of the elevator and go flick, 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 flick. And again,
I have a question though. Like, I hit one button last round, so does he not press that button?
He
Or will
basically
still press
doing
it?
an elevator. He starts from the top and just
son of a
starts
bitch.
flicking everything.
Um,
But he does not go
Can,
into a craziness in regards to pulling the levers.
But my
can
wisdom
me and Nate
roll.
here make a perception on what buttons he's hitting and trying like?
Yeah,
Hey,
technically you
Yeah.
do get that.
Hey.
And for the wisdom roll, it's still technically not the greatest. So you are smart enough not to start pounding on the levers, but you do
But
basically
wouldn't I
like
be smart enough to like swipe the buttons in the opposite direction? So maybe it turns off at the end.
well, you can basically they're like almost elevator buttons. So no matter what, basically you go up instead of down.
And that still doesn't work.
No, it really doesn't.
1, 2, 3.
I feel bad. Whoever's 5 and
5 are the machines, so they're literally getting zapped.
More powerful.
And it randomly hits the one
Right
that
in
took
the
the damage. And 4 technically is you, Denver. So you're in bear form, so roll me a dex. And then 2.
does Bear have decks? Bear does not have decks.
Probably not very good dex. I'm going to say, just because you've been hit by lightning twice, it does not strike the third time. So, Jeremy, you are getting hit by lightning. So, roll me a dex.
All right. This is
sharing
not
this
a
one.
motherfucker.
So, we'll say Denver technically avoids it, and you get fried for 6.
What do I get? That fucking tree.
So there's my perception.
You're taking 6 damage.
Maniac button.
And everyone who's there technically can roll perception. I'm gonna say you're by now for your button pressing, Jeremy, I will give you literally a frickin' +5. +5.
So can I re-roll that then?
No, you do not see anything.
No.
You get hit by lightning. It's Tyler. No, Tyler is the one who's getting a +5 on his next button press.
Tyler gets
And
+5
advantage. If you still
advantage?
fail this,
So I should get 6.
don't push it.
Or 5 with my.
Well, yeah, technically you would get 6. So -1, you're getting 5. So it's +5 plus advantage. So
I
for
want
the
you to
love of
cross your
God,
fingers.
roll.
If you mess this up,
If you mess this up, I don't know what to do.
one of us is going to hit the floor pretty soon.
So Denver,
It's okay. I still got my res thing. I can
So
save
Denver,
one
you
of these.
technically can roll a perception, but sadly, if you roll right, you're a bear.
My perception was that 15.
Oh, you technically are aware of what the button is. You
Sweet.
actually know the button, but you are a bear.
I am a bear.
Can he press it as a bear? Like use his bear claw?
I-
Just zap.
don't
He would
know
press multiple
about that
buttons.
Okay, don't do
He
that,
basically he would press the whole thing. Well, not the whole thing. Let's say almost literally half the buttons. So it would not give you the effect that you want.
Wait a second. It's my turn, right?
Well, one more lightning, which hits the Vean. So roll me a dex, Vean.
See, an 8. Dang.
You're taking 6. Denver, it is your go. What do you do?
All right, so I know the off
You know
button.
the off button.
All right, as a free action, unbear.
Become unbearable.
Press that.
All right. With that, the room darkens.
What?
Everything seems to, all the light from technically the walls, they all power down. So the lightning that was coursing through the walls are gone, and you notice the automatons actually go to where that secret door is, and they start, entering.
Oh, son of a bitch.
I'm grappling one of these things. What's happening to me?
Going into the door too.
Technically, it's going to be opposing strength, but it's technically going to be slowly moving towards the secret door. So it's going to come up to you what you really want to do in regards to this conundrum. So
Suplex it.
let's
Vean would not know. Someone would have to inform him. Let's just say that.
all right. So
It's
roll me a strength.
Oh, God.
So yeah, you're holding on to DR type, but they're programmed, so it's moving. It technically only can move 5 feet. Like literally, you're grappling and you're holding and you're like, motherfucker.
Why?
I can't. I have to.
Why?
That's how dumb Vean is, dude.
So are you gonna try to attack it?
Yes.
All right. So roll. You do have advantage in regards to it, but you're still not. You're clink clink. You're like stabbing like a madman.
What is Vean's intelligence?
It's 10.
Oh, he's part of the V.
Yeah, you start that. You see them not moving towards it, and you hear the.
Does 16 hit?
No.
Does 16 hit?
Oh,
no?
first,
Okay.
yeah. So roll me a strength.
Extra attack.
Oh my god.
I missed.
Roll me a strength in regards to your grapple.
20.
So you're still managing to hold on, but again, it's dragging you towards this abyss. Now you guys hear the grunts and this epic struggle as this hear that it's more now the grind of steel on steel as this automaton is not more clunk, but it has that extra weight, so it's literally grinding on the floor as it tries to move towards its destination. Do you guys want to
Let
say
go.
anything?
Let go of him.
Let go.
I'm too caught up in this epic battle. I can't hear him.
You can technically try to attack it too, if you wanted to.
Who?
Everyone. If he's not letting
Oh,
go.
it's fucking dead.
It's not attacking.
I know, but still. Not doing anything.
They're afraid. They're afraid of the machine. So okay.
There's a lot of static. I can't tell what's going on here.
So I'll go through the list. Denver, do you react to this?
Well, I don't see him. I just hear noises. Nate said, "Let go." Is it? We have the torch.
Yeah.
The torch technically. Actually, Jeremy, you have not turned to the bear, so you do have the torch. So you kind of illuminate, and you do see kind of the shadow, kind of that there's a big figure coming towards you, but you get the grunts of the Vean. Now, what time do you have to leave at 8? Denver?
Yeah.
You do? Okay.
Well, I'd prefer to because sleep.
It's up to you. Technically, the next room shouldn't take long. This technically shouldn't take long, but it shouldn't be too bad. Just depending on what if the Vean, let's go. So yeah, you hear the grunts, Jeremy. You're not engaging. You're like, I don't want this shit, right?
Yep,
Another strength. for you, Jason. Even with that, it's still,
I'm still winning.
You're still winning. So you're literally attached to the sucker as it moves towards the door.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, technically it's Jason's turn. So stab away.
Advantaged attacks. Advantaged attacks. There's a hit. Sweet.
Alright, damage.
What? Ah, fuck. 10.
You might be able to make it before he shoves you in a box. Tyler.
I'm gonna pass by Jeremy and grapple the front
Oh, God.
robot to aid the prophet.
So you're hanging on to it. So that's fine. Literally, it's already grappled, so you're just adding to the weight, but it seems not to be disturbed. Denver, you see all these people hugging one of the machines as it,
Jump on!
slowly dragging.
Considering my wound.
Turn into a bear and jump on.
I am going to cast Cure Wounds at level 2.
Okay.
So you say we can add a proficiency?
Yeah. Well, it's your spell. So it's your spell casting plus your proficiency. Okay. So you heal Jeremy. You see this hug fest.
I'm healing myself again.
All right. Bad guy. Everyone can roll. The ones who are grappling, strength tests.
Oh. Give me that good strength 6, damn. I should have lost by now.
You might actually break. Now it's down to
the prophet.
The prophet, or Tyler. So you do technically release as it moves, but now it's up to Tyler. Roll me a strength. All right. He actually shrugs both of you off finally, and makes it through. But technically, you guys get an attack of opportunities because it's going through your threat range.
Attack!
So just one attack each.
Damn it!
Yeah.
God, what do I attack with? I don't think I've actually attacked anything.
You technically have your mace. So you
Alright, so D6.
D20 plus your strength. Modifier.
D20 plus my strength.
So
Alright,
yours,
so we do another one of these.
Yours is...
Nice.
So yeah, you guys hit the clanking machine, but to no avail. And it slips through the door and it seals behind it.
Must be an omen from Overthetop.
For it. And you see that, the sound of the static charge in the room is gone once it's powered down. And you hear the doctor, Calgary, is like, good, not the greatest speed. The others solved that puzzle, I forget how long, maybe about 5 minutes, but they were dwarfs, and you guys are human. And again, you said something about your eyes, so, this just makes me, observe that we definitely need to do stuff with your eyes. Improvement.
Yes, make everything blue.
Now, Billy was upset in regards to how long it was taking you, and you hear like grunts and "Arr!" It's like, Billy, you need to settle down, Billy. I'll add some more things to you later. I put him to bed. Just don't disturb him in the next room for me. As you see lights flicker, and you see that the door to the next floor creak open. Now the next room seems to be lit, and again you hear the organ music playing.
Not to disturb, huh?
Do not disturb.
Crappy stealth engage.
Now technically you do have someone that is good in regards to helping with stealth. So yeah, you can do your healing and all that, and you can make it to the next floor.
I say we take a short rest.
Which you can, yeah, that's no problem. So for a short rest, basically you get a dice pool based off your level. So you're level 3, so you have 3 dice, or you have 3 pools, or 3 technical things you can use. So you could say, I'm going to use all my pools to heal me. Now you don't get your pool back. You only get half your pool at a long rest. So it takes a little while to recharge it. But each of those, we'll call them dice, you get your, basically for you it's 1d8 plus your con modifier back. So you can roll how many dice. So I'm assuming, Denver, that was what you rolled. You're doing 1.
That was 1. Yeah.
Okay.
Now I'm at full.
And because you're level 3, you have two remaining of the pool. Long rest gives you the full, but you can only do it, and it takes a little while. For a short rest, it's only about an hour. Long rest, it's literally you can still relax, but it's like it's a 4-hour duration, 4 to 8 hour duration kind of thing.
So I have a durable, which is you roll a hit die to regain hit points. The minimum hit points.
What was the fighter ship
equals
die
twice.
again?
You have a proficiency in what? Sorry, Jeremy?
Like I have a feat durable, which is like the moon numbers, the moon number of hit points you regain equal twice your con fire. So
basically you'll get double your con modifier. So if it's 2, it's 4. So it's whatever. So I'm assuming it's 1d8 for druids. So 1d8 plus 4 is what you'd be getting.
Wait. The way I heard it, what you saw, like I thought it worked in that. So like when you roll, no matter what you roll, you're guaranteed to get that on your higher plus your kind of.
Like here, that's just what that's what I got from the book.
What's the feat actually called?
Durable.
Increase your con or constitution by 1. When you roll a hit die to regain hit points, the minimum number of hit points you regain from the roll equals to twice your con modifier, minimum of 2. When you roll a hit dice to regain your hit points, the minimum roll number. So technically, meaning I guess you can't roll under your con modifier. Basically, you would if you literally rolled a 1 or a 2, you get to re-roll it. You can't roll lower than 2. Is what I'm getting from it. When you roll a hit dice to regain hit points, the minimum number of hit points you regain from the roll equals twice to your con modifier. So actually, no, twice your modifier. So your con is 2, so it has to be higher than 4. Although actually no, or minimum 2. So yeah, it has to be higher than 4. So.
Alright. So I'm going to do that.
So how many dice are you using? So you have, because you're level 5, you get 5.
Level 4.
Oh, level 4. So you have 4 dice. So you can decide to use all of them, and then you'll take a while to regain them because you only regain half of your pool.
I'm going to use 2.
All right. So roll me your 1d8 plus your con, which is 2. And if you roll a under 4, technically just re-roll it, assuming what that means. And forgive me if I again, I don't know everything, but that's what it sounds
There's
like.
my first one.
So it's better than 4, so you would take that one.
And then do I do another one then?
Yeah, because you've used 2 dice. Yeah.
Okay, then 10.
10. So you don't have to re-roll anything, but say if you rolled a 4 instead of a 5, you could re-roll that because you're
So
not.
just
You basically.
are back at 30 now.
Perfect.
I do
Jason,
defense.
are you using? You are
17.
using 1. Are you using 2?
Yeah.
So. Oh, it's a D10.
My con modifier is 2, so I did +4. 2 D10s rolled.
So
+4.
basically, you're getting
17.
yeah, 17. Perfect. Tyler, do you want to do it? So
Johnny,
you
get a
have
D6
3.
as well.
I have 3.
I'm
So-
assuming they're probably D8.
Yeah,
So I think the only thing
clerics are
with
D8s.
D6 is
So basically, you could roll
like
all
rolls
3
and
of them, and that's 1d8. So the 3 represents every one is 1d8 plus your con modifier. So you roll a dice. So, but you have to tell me what you're going to be using for the short rest. Have you taken enough damage that you need 1 dice, or have you taken a lot of damage that you have to use 2 dice?
How many times have I been stricken by lightning?
So if you're close to death, maybe it's not a bad thing to use 2 dice. Probably you don't need 3, but it's up to you.
I don't know. One second.
Maybe I'll just use 2.
Okay, so roll me 2d8 plus your con modifier. So you can do the same thing Jason did and just do +4. So 2d8 plus 4. And that's how much health you're going to get back.
Should I roll them both at the same time? Or
Yeah, it's up to you. It makes it simpler. So you're getting 10 hit points back.
Alright.
All right. So with that, you guys now continue to proceed to the next level. Who's leading the way?
I will.
All right.
And I need to demand a refund.
As you keep on shouting, but he doesn't seem to, seems to be a one-way speaker system or whatever he's using. So you go into this next room, and you do see the staircase on the opposite side of you. However, you see a ton of statues. The X's on the map represent statues, and they seem to be in various poses. Passive, you get the impression that they're human, and some are smaller and some are taller. But with the passive, you don't really see anything else. In the center is this podium or dais, and it seems to have a large cage, and the cage seems to have looks like to be window slits, but they seem to be closed at the moment. That's all I'm going to get with passive. Technically, with the eagle eyes, boy, you do see that technically there are markings on the floor, but that's all I'm going to give you.
Legolas, what do your elven eyes see?
not elven. I can speak elven.
Yeah, I can speak elven. Not fluently, of course.
2, I'll say, technically, you notice on the cage with your passive, one more thing. You do see an engraving on the a title on the top of the cage saying Billy.
Oh my god, it's Billy.
So, are we keeping the turn?
Yeah, we'll keep, that seems to be working. Unless people are like, I want to go first.
I want to go first. Then
I'll have
So I'm just going to relay the information. Like there's markings. That's Billy in there. Don't disturb him. Is there unmarked doors or?
All of them seem to have
Just a
strange
few?
markings all over. Basically, it's a tile, like a tile floor, and they all have markings, and they're all like it's gibberish. You know, you guys look and ponder, and it's not actually a written language that you're aware of. And yes, you could
What
name all
language
of
is it?
I know two exotic languages.
Start naming them. No.
Is there anything obstructing the staircase on the other side?
No, it seems like it's a straight shot. If you really wanted to,
Wow, that sums it up.
run across.
Yes,
And yeah, there are statues throughout, and they're in various poses.
Do I see anything on the statues, or
You want to roll a perception for me?
Yeah, roll perception on that.
There's something odd about the statues, but you're not sure what it is. Now, you do see there are a few dwarf statues. There are also a few humans and elves. Just a variety of different figures.
Can I tell what kind of poses they're making? Really?
Their poses seem to be, most of them, an utter shock or surprise.
Are they life-size, or are they huge?
They are life-sized. They are exactly what they'd be in life, the statues. So, you know, dwarves are dwarf height, elves are elfin height. You know, they all look like, technically, life-size statues.
I start shining my shield.
He literally goes into his dance and like, no.
What if we hide behind the statues to get to the staircase?
Oh, that's an okay idea.
It's just okay.
Now,
It's better than anything I'm coming up with.
so kind of a quick down of what? I wasn't here.
Oh, you missed. You're all good. You're all good. Just run it. They're all good.
We're up here in a room. There's a metal cage. The metal cage has Billy inside. Do not disturb Billy. There's statues are in a bunch of poses. There's elf statues, human statues, dwarf statues, scale, real life scale. The floor has a bunch of strange gibberish marks and tiles. Nobody knows what they are. Not in a language. The staircase doesn't seem locked.
All right.
We've had one suggestion to go from statue to statue.
Now, Demmer, before I left, you're trying to say something, maybe?
Me?
Yeah, you tried to say something. I don't know. I think it was
He
like,
said, "Run,
you know,
run, fool, run."
You get your wild shape. You get wild shape.
Why you? Oh, so me and you could turn into a cat then, right? And just stealth our way over.
Yeah. Well, you know, me out of game. Me thinks I knows what this is. That was what I was gonna ask. That's what I was gonna ask in game. I'm like, hey, can I make an intelligence or wisdom check to see if I know why the statues
You can do
like
a wisdom. You can do a wisdom check.
I think Billy is what he
So
said.
just straight wisdom.
Wisdom plus your modifier.
Or
It's
any
a basilisk, dude. Or croc.
wisdom plus
There's nothing in the
modifier?
box.
Like
It's just an empty
efficiency,
box.
or-
There's nothing in the box. What is?
You get that it may be some, like, you know, you're kind of putting two and two together, and technically out of game you're realizing what it is. But the biggest thing is when the doctor said the dwarfs were able to figure it out before you, and there are actually there's quite a few dwarven statues.
Huh. Now who's better at the puzzles?
Now who's laughing?
Oh, was that going off that 10? Because that 10 was for perception.
Oh.
Yeah.
You want to do your intel or you want to do your wisdom?
I haven't rolled for...
Yeah, roll me your
Because that's what I was wondering. Like, do I add my...
it'll be your D20 plus your wisdom modifier.
Plus your
so not proficient.
real life
And
IQ.
There's no... Unless you have insight, and I'm not sure... I think insight is wisdom. You wouldn't be proficient in it.
No.
Insight will give you
I
that
have
proficiency.
survival and perception. And animal handling.
I guess you could use perception or survival, as you know, you're definitely tingling a sense of danger.
All right, survival.
Unless you roll a 1 for me, and then it's like, nope.
What is that?
Yeah, you again.
Get me.
You recall the dwarfs about the dwarfs, and you think, yeah, there's something dangerous in that box. You're not exactly sure what's in the box. Definitely something in the box.
Could I try?
Sure.
Put the bunny back in the box.
Can I do the same thing with survival?
Sure.
All right. Here we go.
You're getting a better sense that they did something and it triggered the box, but you're not entirely sure what. But yeah, there's something in that box, and even though it's a straight shot to that staircase, best be on guard. My danger senses are flying.
It's just like don't like room. Lanky.
What if we skirt around the outsides, or we go with the hide behind the statue plan? Which?
I don't know. Somebody's gonna act.
I'm gonna act.
So,
Me.
which statue do you run to?
All right. I'm gonna run to this one. Except I think I'm gonna get on the corner so it can't see me behind the stage. Yeah?
Yeah. And technically, I'll have you make me...
Oh, I don't like rolls. Rolls don't like me.
Do a perception as you're kind of moving towards a spot.
All right. Perception rolls I do okay at. So that's 3.
You start moving, and then you kind of see a glyph on the ground. And again, you can't read it, but you get, and again with your godly, think that you hear your god. You believe danger on stepping on this specific tile, so you kind of veer around it, and nothing seems to trigger. And for those who are wanting to know what tile it was...
Oh, was that one? Are the glyphs, can we see the glyphs if we don't step on them?
You see this specific glyph. So technically, if you do point it out, your teammates can avoid it. But again, you kind of look across this room, and there are technically quite a few glyphs. There's like 50, and some of them, like most of them, all repeat. So you're thinking that probably this is not just a glyph, but it's a good one to avoid.
All right. Well, then I'm gonna look back at the team and give them the cross-armed X no-go signal and point to the glyph.
All right.
And then shout red.
No, I'm not gonna show because what's in that box is gonna be.
So yeah, he points at a
That's
cliff,
dope.
and he's using all. That's good. So yeah, you're using all hand gestures. So the box is not being disturbed. Denver, we'll go to the top of the order because once we started. What do you want to do? You see your
Follow his
teammates.
path to behind him. Yes. He took
Okay,
that.
yep.
Like he stepped here before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
Now there's not a whole lot of room, and I'm gonna say, again, there are a few that are dwarfs, so they are shorter.
And they are followers of
They are fatter, so no offense, dwarfs.
So looking at this glyph he
And
pointed
the
to, do
elves
I see that
are
glyph
green.
repeated
Roll me
anywhere else?
a perception. You do think you see one right here. And technically this fucker was standing on an identical one to it. But from your vantage point, you would have to be closer in order to inspect.
Well then, what was that? 10, 12. Alright. I'm gonna step there. And then I'm gonna step there.
Yeah, you one step at a time. It seems to be working for you. Jeremy.
Jeremy.
Thinking.
It's like chess. You gotta make sure your move is
There's
right.
no thinking. Just step where he stepped.
Okay,
He isn't tired yet.
there,
Okay.
behind the statue, shared of Tavern.
The Vean, Jason. So are you still using your shield basically to hide your face?
Yes.
Alright. So what do you want to do? And technically you're not paying much attention in regards to the pointing because you basically have the shield in front. Like,
Oh, come on!
you're like, no, I do not.
I walk forward one, then I walk this way. I all of a sudden see my worshiper, and I'm just like, okay, let's
Alright. Roll me one perception.
one perception.
Fast.
God darn it. Eh. Eight.
You seem to, because again, you're putting the tower shield or your shield right in front of you. You're like, I'm not. You're paying attention to the direction you're going, but you're kind of balancing two things at once. So you do check what looks like technically a different symbol, and you hear one of the grates open up. Now you guys are, hiding behind this thing. You're not looking directly at the box at the moment. So you hear the grate at the front open up, and then it shines out in your direction.
Oh.
However, you guys are hiding behind the human form, not the dwarf. So he is technically covering you, and for Denver's character, you're out of that sight. And I'm gonna leave them because you actually find that the door is not closing at the moment.
Oh.
Run!
Book it! we can move 30, everybody book it.
Yeah, we can move 60. Run.
So next, so you've moved there. Now you could make a run action if you wanted to, or you can stop.
Whose turn is
Technically, still Jason's, because he's only moved a few squares. Again, you can technically move up to 6. Plus, you could do the run, which is an additional 30.
put the shield back over your face and book it?
Well, he's still, he's literally like it almost looks like he's reading a book kind of thing. Like he has this shield right in front of his face, and he's just.
I was trying to put it, saying my shield is beside my face while I'm looking forward. Isn't that like how you'd put a shield in front of your circle around something?
You can put it along the side to technically see your comrades, but it's still going to be a hindrance because you're trying to make sure that you're always covering that box because you don't want to be exposed. So you still get the perception checks, but you are more likely to step on them by accident because you're trying to cover your face. And for you, technically, you are well protected because you're focusing more on that. Now, if you weren't, you do have the risk that your shield's going to fail you. Is basically the rub. So you can use the tower, you can use your shield as and act as cover, and you can technically see where they're going, but you are primarily focusing in your front and always covering the box.
Okay.
For it. So right now you are good, even if you continue to move, but you could be opening, certain things. So you can, you still have movement if you wanted to run.
No.
So we're going to move to Tyler.
Oh, why me? Oh, I'm gonna have to be the guy.
Now you can technically stay there, and you do, in fact, one of your things that you carried, I think, was actually a shield. Or you can try to improvise and figure out other.
Oh, should I do it? Should I do it? Oh. To be ballsy or not to be ballsy is the question.
Well, it matters what your character.
Oh, my character's pretty dumb, so I think you do it.
There you go. There's your answer.
All right. Put shield over face. Run for staircase.
Oh God!
Put shield
can
over
I see
and
this
sprint
happening?
staircase.
Dear God, no!
Just utter horror look on your face as he sprints. So you're doing
I have a wooden shield. See what I can do with that.
Roll me.
Man,
I'll
do it.
technically give you a perception roll to realize what he's about to do. So you quickly try to bring up your shield, but depending on what he rolls, it might hurt, it might not. So yeah, you beeline it, right? You're heading straight for the thing. 1,
Yes.
2, 3. So technically, you step on this guy, and he opens up this side. However, we'll do roll me a perception. Just one. Yeah, for you, Tyler. And then we'll play 2 high or low games.
Boom. 14.
You managed to avoid another one technically up ahead because you first start with a pure beeline. He's like, I'm gonna make it, and you see that, so you kind of move around it. But I'll do 2 high-low games. So the first one, high or low?
Oh?
Low, you said?
Yep.
You hit one that seems to actually close this lid, or it actually pulls shut.
You're welcome.
Just out of pure stupidity, like just random fact. Another high or low?
Hi? Not high.
trigger another one, a different symbol, which seems to open this side. But you are technically across. Just probably be careful in regards to looking back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So actually plus, yeah. So you hit purple there. All right. Denver, you know, as he's beating past you, and you kind of realize what's happening, you know, utter horror, and in regards to this. High or low game? High or low?
High. I pick high.
All right. You quickly, you know, realize what he's done, and you grab your shield and you put it over your face, as you know, the eye door or whatever, the peaky hole opens up, and you know, you kind of roll behind the fat man, to prevent it from, you know, getting doused by the light. So it is your turn.
Want to make a perception and just see any of the glyphs I've come
The orange
near me.
seems like close. The orange.
You get. You get another red one right ahead of you. But you also see one that you kind of think, I'm running out of colors, even though I have all the colors of the rainbow. He stepped on something like that, and you see something like that, and you actually think the glyphs might not be a bad thing.
The blue ones?
The blue ones, yeah.
Just glyphs in general.
Yeah, the teal ones. You kind of, you know, in your utter disbelief as he ran, you kind of notice that as he kind of maybe ran in the one spot, that actually seemed to close.
So you just it's gonna go 5 at a time, a slow pace with the shield up, and go to that.
So I'm gonna have you roll 1 perception.
1 perception.
Yeah. You do open one, but basically, as you touch that one, it closes again. To, you know, cancel it out. Again, you're relying on your shield, similar to Jason. So you know, you're focusing on keeping the light from, you know, touching you, or you know, looking directly at it. So yeah, you basically trigger another one that was right here, but as you step on it, basically it opens and closes like simultaneously. What do you want to do?
So that one.
1, 2, 3. That was 3 spots.
I'm going to go here.
You notice that it actually closes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It seems to actually close the one that's kind of in between you guys. The main one seems, or the one that's, you know, looking directly at the staircase going up, seems to be still open. And is that your turn? Should I take one more step?
Right. So just looking at the wall now, not looking at the box, kind of deal.
Okay, so you're not relying on the shield. You're looking straight ahead.
Yeah, I'm just gonna shimmy sideways. Still have my shield in my hand, because some spooky happens. But, you know.
As the
Never
box
mind.
randomly moves. Okay. Jeremy. So you hear, these things opening and closing. Seems like depending on what tiles you do step on, and there's a variety of different tiles. Some are good and some are bad, from what it sounds like.
Right.
Now, if you have a shield, potentially you could. Oh yeah. The door behind you is actually still open, and I should have. Do you remember what I said about the transformation of animals? Denver? Turning into beasts or creatures?
Oh, yeah.
How much gold did you have? Or how much money did you have left?
9 gold.
9 gold is sitting on the second level. Do you want to go back? As you race backwards.
So wait.
Anything metallic. So anything metal, every time you turn your shape, you immediately discard it. And just sits where you change your B shape. So you do have to tell me that you are picking.
Never carry money?
For now, yes, until you find magical items like bags and all that. Like, keep it, someone could carry it for you, or you could potentially, you just remember to pick up your backpack. Or, pick up your pouch. Like, I'm not going to have it where basically your pouch scatters and all your money flies all over. Just basically the objective is metal drops off you every time you transforms. So instead of having you race back, let's say you have it, but just again, next game or for our druids, just be reminded of that. Like I know with Morgan's character, he actually had to find a bag to hold it. Or basically, when he went back to town, he put it in a bank, or he, put it in his room. Like he didn't carry his money with you. And technically, that's not a bad idea, just in case bandits or you get mugged for it. Or again, you be a trusting fellow and you hand over your stuff. But we're gonna ignore it for this game. But I did tell Morgan how druids work, and technically you're in that realm. So yeah, anything metal falls off your person.
Specifically metal?
Most of the druid stuff you shouldn't be wearing metal anyway, so you're not carrying swords, you're carrying staffs, or for your weapon. I told you it was a, what was it called, a shambukin or whatever, the wooden sword.
The boken.
Yeah, so those technically cannot fall off you because they're literally made out of wood and leather and all that. As long as you're not wearing plate mail.
Question.
Yeah.
If I got it made out of like leather and wood, would that make it so my money doesn't fall out?
Like a pouch or
yeah.
Let's say I'll have you guys at the end. You spend 2 gold, and I'll give you kind of a magic pouch for your gold. Is what I ended up doing for Morgan. And technically Mughamara will have it. So, as long as you can hold your gold for this game, you're good. So for this one, I will ignore it, and you still have your weapon, your gold. But if you do B shape one more time and you forget, you'll have to go back here and pick it up. But instead of having you run all the way back and all that, like, it doesn't really matter. You guys have kind of got the gist of what's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you're holding on to it and you're doing your thing. Jeremy, do you have a shield?
I do.
And a wood shield. So
Yep.
I'm gonna say everyone has a shield, and like because it's basically 8:07, and we want to wrap it up for Denver's sake because he needs to go to bed. You guys can make it through this room fairly easy because everyone has a shield. So everyone has their shields up, and they kind of push through. And the door to the next level is open. Like this one was technically never really closed. And you can hear the sound of the organ, like more pronounced, like it's on the next level. So what do you do?
I'm on the staircase.
Yeah, above on the next level, you hear the sounds of the organ playing. So you and judging by the height of this place, you think you're on, next level's the top level. And it seems, you see, looks like torchlight and a mix of flickering green and, other light illuminations seem to be in this room as well.
Well, to get out of the spooky room with the spookiness tiles.
Sure.
Going up.
So you go up and you see what looks like to almost be a laboratory, like a mad scientist, what they would have. So you see kind of like what's out of game, looks like Tesla coil kind of things. And, there seem to be jutting from the top, and they seem to be bringing electricity down. Like you see lightning kind of being discharged. You see lab equipment, so test tubes and, different lighting and all that. And you do see two what looks like mortuary slabs, but they're in a kind of a tilted position. And you see the Dr. Calgary, and he seems to be putting on leather gloves as he pulls it down his arm. He's like, good, you've arrived. How was Billy? Still sleeping, I hope. And he's looking at you, Denver, as the other guys are, kind of following you. It's like, are you dead yet?
What I didn't know if Billy's still sleeping. Didn't look at him. No.
Well, it's easy to wake him up. I know some people who were looking for surgery, and they seem to disturb Billy. Although I should have, made it so the tiles did not shock him awake. But, he deserves a little shock once in a while, eh? Where's your friends for the eye surgery? Yes, you're here for the eye surgery.
I want my 5 gold back.
What? He's offended. He's like, well, we haven't done the surgery, but I could give you back if you don't want the surgery. But you've made
the surgery and the gold.
He's like, well, it was part of the experience. Tell you what, just because you've made it, he hums and haws. It's like, I actually haven't had anyone get this far, so you must be geniuses.
That I am.
He says, I could do as he's humming and hawing, he's talking to himself, muttering. He's like, yes, I haven't tried anything. I always seem to experiment on Billy. It'd be nice for a change to try something. I don't want to offend. So yes, I can give you your 5 gold. And in fact, your 2 friends here, they want a surgery as well. Yes. Change your eye color or
No.
change? Are you sure? He's like, I could do other things for you. Bone graftments. You want to be taller or maybe shorter? I could remove some bones. Want a tail? I could do tails. There was this one time, and he wanted his neck to be tall. I'm not sure why. I think he was after apparently fruit or something, but I came up with an idea of grafting. And have you heard of giraffes? Well, they're tall. They're like horse-like, but they have really tall necks. And I decided to dissect one and replace his neck with it. And yeah, he seemed to be very happy, although he lost his balance. But there could be improvements. So are we ready to do the surgery? And he walks and he gives you the 5 gold, and he comes back to the 2 slabs, and he kind of pats his hands down on the slabs and says, we are ready to proceed.
Nice.
And your other comrades are like,
Make sure to take out all red from my vision.
Yes, of course.
Prominent and everything.
All red. Yes. And both eyes, correct?
Yes, in both eyes.
All right. Well,
all red.
The procedure is quite delicate, but we are ready to
I'm
go.
blue in my right eye, colorblind in the left.
All right. So he gets you guys good and strapped on the table, and he pulls down on the straps, and he kind of starts moving equipment, and he turns to the 2 who are still like, and he's like, the procedure does take a little while, and you don't want to be a part of it in regards to your retinals being exposed, especially to what I'm going to do to them. So he kind of goes to a table, and it seems to be actually more of a console than not, and he starts playing around with something. He says all the traps are disabled, including the tiles on Billy's room, and he's asleep. So if you want to go down and relax in the lounge, there was a couple stiffs who were sitting there before the skeletons. That if you want to wait for your friend down there or your friends, it should take a few hours.
Sure, fine, whatever.
Sure. Run.
So they book it for the stairs, and he's like, well, and he claps his hands, and you 2 stooges are strapped to these metal slabs. He's like, let's begin, shall we? And then he puts on these goggles, and you guys technically black out from it. You do recall something to do. It almost looked like a crystallized thing that seemed to be attached. It almost looked like a weapon. You saw it, and he kind of points it at you guys, and like the tip is next to your eyeball, and then quick flashes, and it is painful. So what I'll technically have you guys do is roll me cons.
We're gonna roll some cons.
22.
You endure it, and you're like, yes, give me blue, give me blue.
Jason.
So I got 14.
You do pass out.
Okay.
The pain is too unbearable, as literally it feels like your eyeballs are being gouged out, as the crystal seems to be some kind of prism, and it magnifies, and literally like a magnifying glass laser beam into your eye. And you're like, oh my god! And
Well,
you hear on the other one, it's like, yes, more. As the Vean does not pass out for it, he literally endures and yeah. We're over the top. We're over the top. So yeah, you guys do the surgery, and you guys are waiting in the lounge, and by the time you get down to the lounge area, you notice that there seems to be a table there, and there's cookies, and there seems to be a few. It looks like parchment papers.
What's on the parchment?
News. Have you heard of the latest Bard song kind of thing? Like it's literally those magazines in a waiting room.
I want to take this table, and I want to break this table. And I want to scatter its magazines around this room.
You easily can scatter the magazines, and you throw the cookie tray, and it breaks, and it's on the ground. The the table actually seems to be almost embedded into the ground. So try as you will, like you start trying to put dents into it, but your frustration, you don't manage. You can't flip the table. Sorry, Jeremy. There's no cookies.
Wooden chairs.
Denver broke the cookies. For the chairs, they technically, as you fling them, it feels some sort of magic. They actually go back into their original spots. So you flip them, and they fall to the ground, in odd angles, but they quickly right themselves and move back to where they originally were positioned.
I see my plans getting had to take a little more.
That's more rage. The hate.
What do I have on me here?
What are you doing, Jeremy? So you see immediately as you get into this kind of the lounge seems like new objects have been added to this room. The skeletons are still in piles, but there's cookies, and you immediately see Osuke run to the table and flip, throw everything off of it, and then start grabbing chairs and throwing chairs, but they magically return back.
I was going to stare really at Yusuke.
What was outside of this place again?
Just wilderness, rain, and right now it's rain and lightning, and there's trees about, dead trees.
For the hours that they are doing that procedure,
you're gonna punch trees.
I'm gathering freaking dead tree branches and putting them in the lobby as much as I can.
You see him doing it, and he's coming back soaked and all that, as he's dragging the shit into the lobby. So kind of now it's like bird nest. Try to make a mess. Jeremy, do you want to do anything, or are you just wide-eyed and like?
Just dreamily at Yusuke when he comes up. He's watching.
Okay. You do hear, the organ music play again. But, you hear, and, now the room technically is illuminated. You hear screams, and you see the torchlight, like, flicker. Even your torch actually seems to flicker. Like, a big power surge or something has happened up above. Like almost like a bug zap. The only one who's awake upstairs, you're still enduring. Like yes. Dr. Calgary's like I must admit I'm surprised you're still awake. Might I interest you in other augmentations potentially?
Just the eyes. Yeah. Oh.
He's like, yes, of course. Let's keep on going. So eventually, your eyes, you can't take the strain of what he's doing, and you lose vision. You're still awake, and you feel kind of cold, damp cloth on your eyes, and you feel kind of gauze as he wraps it around you. Tyler, you're still unconscious, but you do wake up and you realize that you are in darkness, and you hear Calgary says it'll take your eyes several days to recover in regards to the procedure. Make sure not to remove the bandages until, and he says about a week. A week worth of time. And he says, "I'm sure your comrades will be happy to help you and all that. But yeah, do not remove the bandages until a week has passed." And he takes you by the hands and he leads you out. So you hear, "What the fuck?" as he gets down to the lobby and he sees this guy bringing in tree branches, wet trees. Like, it looks like a mess now. He's like, "What are you doing?"
Decorating.
He's like,
Oh God.
Like, you soiled my broom. I like. Here is your friends, and he points to the two that is beside him, and their heads literally are covered in gauze. Like you see their mouth and their chin, but everything above is all wrapped up.
What are you talking about? Of course I put my mask back on.
Oh. You fumble, and he helps you with it. So yeah, you look like your regular self, but they quickly realize you're blind as you try to walk towards maybe the door and you run into a wall. But they can clearly tell from Tyler that his eyes, they're all wrapped up, and they're assuming that you're probably that. Of course, as now you're feeling the walls, and you're like blind as a bat. And Calgary tells you guys that they need to keep their bandages on for a week for the procedure to have its full success or take its course. So I'm help them the best you can. At least get them to the village. And now I'm sure I can. And he hands you cards. With mad scientists on them, Dr. Calgary, and he's like, if you're ever in need of service, if you want maybe extra limbs or that giraffe neck, I am improving.
Question.
Yes.
Can you add tails?
Yes. Yes, I
You already said you could do that.
Shall
Can I talk to you at a later date?
Yes, and he hands you happily the card, and he slips the two cards into the pockets of the blind people and kind of pats and says, if you're ever looking, gentlemen, for other cosmetics or improvements, I'm around. Maybe not here next time, but definitely you can look me up in the funny pages. And as he looks,
Question.
Yes.
Is it easy to do?
My God, what are you doing?
Because I was thinking of getting a blonde, full box ears.
Dear God.
Please.
This monster.
He's an abomination. He says, "Yes, I can do many augmentations. grafting other animals to people, it's a tricky science, and some people call it taboo or forbidden. But I'm happy to cross that line.
Now I want it all like blonde, like just match my hair color. You can do that.
Yes, he looks up and down and says, "Natural blonde, correct?"
Yep, all natural.
We can come up with the details later, but you may have to find an animal that matches it. Like I could probably find another animal and change its coat, like good spray or whatever, but it would be not natural. Technically, this science is not natural, but you want it as authentic as possible, correct?
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's blonde foxes that would match me hair is a thing.
Dear God.
You might be able to find
It's a legendary quest. Oh my God.
Yeah. Find the blonde fox to cut up. so they can have ears. He's like, yes, we can look into this at another time. Definitely, if you need to contact me, I should be around. And think about it. If I was going for the fox thing, definitely you might want to talk to maybe hunters or those who might know more in regards to wildlife, especially if this blonde fox is what you're looking for. It might be a rare find, but it is possible.
Perfect.
And you said ears and tails, legs too. We could go more fox than man.
Nah, I'm good with tail, ears. Maybe like.
Dear God.
I just see Denver's character just shudder, like wide eye, and like, dear God.
You want to get rid of your village heritage.
And he's like, it's been fun, gentlemen. It's been quite a blast, and I'm glad you were able to solve my puzzles and make it to the final. And he shakes everyone's hands, shakes the blind people's hands, and he says, well,
over the top.
Oh God.
So he's like, yeah, yes, I've heard that newfangled originally. It seems to interesting, very interesting. But I'm a man of science. And with that, he kind of, walks away, and he starts going up. He goes up the stairs. So yeah, you have cards. So mad scientist, Dr. Calgary. You have two blind.
I have a trophy.
You have two blind
Question.
characters. Yeah.
Create or destroy one. Can I destroy the water that's in a 30-foot cube?
For a second there, I thought you were going to say destroy the ocean.
Destroy.
You can. I think it says create or destroy water. For
Yeah.
it. What are you
It's like-
thinking?
Just destroy the water that are in these webs.
Oh, you're trying
Make
to
them
burn.
burn.
You're gonna set fire. To
I'm
this
gonna
place.
set this place on fire.
I will stop you. I want the fucking tails and ears.
No.
Hatred.
This is a monstrosity, and
So yeah,
There
What
were
happens if
victims in there.
I will go back to the village with you?
it's the Frankenstein. You're the two blind characters. Like wonder what are back into
I
the
gotta
fire.
say that they went in one of their surgery and did that. I saw victims.
Oh my God.
Oh, shut up.
This guy took good hard money and then killed the people.
You're
That's
stupid enough to not know what to do.
we almost.
But we survived. We lived.
Not
Just shows
everybody
us how-
is.
What are the
as
blind
I-
people doing? So you hear this argument.
I try to find what was the name? Donber?
What?
What was the name of the character.
For Tyler's character.
Oh, C word.
Devereaux.
Character. Devereaux. I try to go find Devereaux. Over the top has blessed us, my friend. Just in 1 week, we will be on his true path. The path
Praise be to the top.
Oh god.
So my vision is now thoroughly fucked. Oh crap.
I say you can. It'll take some time because you can only do up to 10 gallons, and have like the trees are literally soaked. Like again, it's pouring outside.
Oh, perfect.
So you could spend some time in order to do it, but it is a level 1 spell to do 10 gallons. So you can do portions of it. But you do notice...
I want to do two portions on there.
Alright. You do notice... perception for you, Jeremy, as you know, you... And then technically, well, it depends on if you do the perception.
Perception.
Abomination. Burn him like Frankenstein, and he's a monster.
25.
You realize that what he's doing. You see him like moving his hand and siphoning, and you watch as you know the branches are drying up. And the two blind people are like, "Yeah, we're gonna be blue," but they're unaware technically what Denver's doing.
If you I never return to.
Why this place?
See what that guy does. I can have a tail.
You can do that with magic.
But it's not permanent.
I want it right now.
It can be permanent. I'm sure you can get it.
Yeah.
I'll continue.
Okay, so you're continuing it. You hear some strange argument about tails, and but you're not entirely sure, the blind people, what's actually transpiring. You heard there's technically a mass, but the doctor seems to be all right with it.
All right, I'll make you a deal there, Yusuke. If you can help me get a permanent fox tail.
Yep, sure, whatever. Help me burn this place.
I want your oath, your promise on your ninja way, on your family, on your you will help me.
I promise on all my hate. Get it?
The two other blind characters, you can roll a perception at advantage because your hearing senses are working.
It's actually 18. No, it's 17.
You hear something about burning this place down.
Did someone say burning this place down? Why would you ever do that? It's so great! Overthetop has blessed this place. It is the most random and chaotic of all places.
I don't know about that one.
He's burning the place.
It is so chaotic. Why would you ever burn? This is now holy ground. The place to get...
Well, while he's doing this monologue, he's actually talking to a wall. He's looking in the opposite direction.
Whatever progress I have made, whatever next step is to lighten this place on.
I try to listen in to where this noise is coming from so I can unlethally tackle.
Perception at advantage now. You're aware of where he is as he
Non-lethal tackle.
You see the blind guy.
Grapple restrained.
So roll strength. Now technically
15.
Denver.
Whoops.
you're not actually.
I messed that up.
I'm not sure what. Yeah, I would probably re-roll because I'm not sure if it actually. It just.
No, it's he literally just did one, which caused 15 or 15.
You're about to kind of light this place. So basically, you're at the point where you just have to, set it ablaze.
I think we should get everyone. Tyler's character.
But yeah, the
Denver.
blind people are
Out of
just
the
kind of
building.
moseying
How
around.
fast you think this is gonna light up?
It's quite dry. It's literally, and I'm assuming you put it around the whole part of the bottom.
That's why I was like, I want to smash this table at the
So yeah, one blind guy still kind of, smiling to himself, and you kind of look up to see where the other blind guy, and you see as he runs at you, and he's trying to lock you in a grapple.
Can I quickly grab Tyler's hand and try to pull him to the door?
Are you over the top?
No, but Overthetop will be very mad if you don't follow me.
I doubt it.
You want not to see with your blue vision? It might wreck it.
Death is merely the beginning, my child.
Roll another strength test and regrapple. So right now he's technically stopping you because you guys are at a stalemate. His blind vision,
Oh, God.
like it's a madman trying to stop you. So he does technically get you in the grapple. But technically your
Extra
arms
attack
are
restrain.
technically, so that's your reaction. Denver, you can break the grapple, or you can light this place ablaze. Like
I'm
literally.
lighting this place ablaze.
I'll keep you here. Oh, restrain.
We'll die together. So you watch the kindling, and then literally the whole place is now kind of like burning inferno. You're in a grapple though with this crazy blind man.
Can I pull Tyler out the door?
Do you resist, Tyler?
Yes.
Oh, motherfucker!
You can do a strength to try to pull him out, and then just
All right.
opposing strength.
All right. We'll try it. Bam. 8.
So roll me a strength, Tyler.
Alright.
Please be lower than 8. Please.
Right, so strength is 1.
So 1d20 plus.
Oh,
So
yes!
you apparently Overthetop wants you out. So
oh.
even with the weakness of
If that's what Overthetop wants.
Nate's character, he does pull you like fireman kind of style, and again with your blind and struggling. Meanwhile, this fiery inferno. Jeremy, you want to go deeper to restrain, correct?
Yes, I do.
Strength and strength as you try to resist. He's pinned you onto the ground, and he's shaking you. What have you done? What have you done? You see, it's burning, but this is mason, so it's not everything's gonna burn. It's gonna be more to the sense that the fumes will probably get to you. You do see technically Dr. Calgary run out. He's like, no, 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 no. I guess the villagers are upset. No, 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 no. You know,
Like this happened before.
yeah. He knows the drill. As you notice, he's carrying suitcases as you know he's running. Like I have my, he looks at you guys. He's like, I always have my emergency just in case those crazy villagers. And then he, books it out of there.
Shit, we have to.
Good.
No.
I'll keep him restrained.
So your round, Denver. So you can do another strength to try to break his pin. But right now you cannot move. He has you on the ground.
I'm transforming into a mouse, and I'm skittering away.
That's good. So yeah, the mouse. You feel that his form almost disappears. As
I clap my hands.
roll me a dex. Denver, as he tries to swing. You realize that something happened, so you're trying to paw, and you're stamping down because you're
Tearing
upset.
this family apart.
As you skitter away, he is gone. Now you know that Dr. Calgary has left, so he's all right. But you are a blind man in a burning building.
I'm going to run back in to get him.
All right, you leave the blind other man who's like screaming because he hears the heat. He's like, my master, my master.
Literally, I'm like the blind here.
As you go into the burning inferno. So for it, because Jason, I'm gonna have you do first a con for me, as there's no ventilation.
It's been rolled. The 19 is my con.
Oh yeah, because
apparently it wasn't my fucking dex roll. So and it's the same modifier. I don't know.
Wait. Oh, actually. What did Jace or Denver roll for his dex?
He never rolled.
I saw the wrong. Roll me a dex.
No,
This is for you to escape his grasp as a mouse. And then we'll take the 18. So you technically will say you pass your 2 in the smoke fumes. Dex 15, 18. What's the mouse's HP?
1 or D4 plus D4 minus 1. So I guess a maximum of.
Roll me a D4 minus 1, and then technically you can do. You're trying to do damage as you kind of slam down on him.
Oh my god. 1 minus 1.
So you got 3 HP to deal with. So melee damage is 1d3 minus whatever, right? Unless you're a profession in martial arts. So technically with your dodge, your 18, you do manage to swipe him at him as he tries to escape your original grasp. So you're going to inflict damage, but I can't remember what melee or using fists do.
I think it's just
I think it's just
1 damage plus strength.
If character uses what are you thinking it is?
1 damage plus strength, unless they are.
Oh yeah, and then if it is, they get 1d3, right, or something.
Yeah, if you're a tavern brawler, you get 1, and if you're a monk,
so
you
you snatch out. So 1 damage. However, what is your strength? Jason.
My strength.
Like, what's your modifier?
Oh, plus 3.
So you slam your fist down on this mouse, and it immediately transforms back. You are still in this fiery inferno, my friend, Denver.
Restrain him.
So I'm going to say you're 19, because we're going to continue on those rolls. So technically you're out of the grapple, but he immediately tries to grapple you again. So roll me a strength, Denver. And sadly, it's going to be probably like you guys are going to fall unconscious, and then Fireman carry. So he grabs onto you again. Again, it's a grapple, not a restraint at the moment, as he's like literally on you in a sense. It's like literally madman kind of style. So both of you, I'm going to have you do cons. And so their Constitution saves if you have. And Denver.
Oh, Constitution save if I have it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's plus 6 then.
Alright, so you're fine, but Denver, you are getting lightheaded. And, the room is kind of swaying as, there's literally the only, like, the smoke is trying to escape, but it can really only escape through one entrance. And you've put enough kindling because you wanted this place to, burn. Burn, baby, burn. With that, I guess it's up to you guys again what you want to do. So top of the round. So Jeremy, you're running back in because you don't see them, none of them running. And
Yeah, I'm being heroic here.
I gotta play the day.
Da, da, da.
So yeah, you're running back, and you've got the blind man away from the building. So
Nice work. Over
So-
the top was with you, young man.
So yeah, you're praising to no one because he's already ran by, and you're like, kudos to you.
Excellent.
And let me tell you my origin story too. You're just talking to nobody. So we'll start again. So Denver, you're a go. So he's trying to grapple you again. Your mouse seemed to fail, and you're starting to feel dizzy.
Transforming into a brown bear.
I'll get one out one
Full-
way or another.
Full
So
dash action.
instead of
Out the
shrinking,
door.
he actually expands.
Like, I don't care that I'm grappled, because grappled just is like half movement, isn't it? So
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
dash action.
You can start moving out. So yeah,
Alright.
that's a good way to do it. As literally, you can do grapple, like opposed grapple checks, but yeah, you're basically carrying him as a bear on your back, as he's still holding you. And it's like you destroyed everything. You're doomed to humanity.
Holy ground.
I'm just picturing, because he's all ramped up and going, this is the...
You've doomed humanity. No longer can other people get the surgery for blue. You've doomed mankind.
Jason is now punished.
So yeah, you're technically still grappling him, and you can keep on pushing, but with his now humongous girth, he's basically carrying you out of the inferno.
Alright.
Alright.
So as you see Jeremy, he's like, I'm gonna be here for everybody, and you get to the door and you see the door burst open. Flames are licking at them, and you see the bear, dragging your blind, the blind Vean, and he's trying to hold him back and trying to pull him back towards the fire. He's like, you doomed us all. So yeah, that's where we're going to end. So technically 9 o'clock. I wasn't able to push the 8 just because of the burning and the fire and inferno. But a good way to end. So yeah, you do burn down this kind of tower. Like technically it'll technically stand, but anything inside of it is probably licked by the flames.
Nice.
You do kind of
Save
watch.
the villagers.
You do watch a little bit, and you technically do see, except for the blind guys, they hear it. Screams of what sounds like agony and pain, and you see that the roof cave burst forth, and see a strange creature that out of the depths of hell.
Oh, is it Tommy?
It's
Billy.
it's little Billy.
Oh, Bill.
It lets out an utter cry, and I'm going to have those people with sight as the other ones are like, "What's going on?"
what?
Roll me a. What is it? I think it's con.
I'm just going to deliriously yell, transform into brown bear.
13.
Except that I'm not
Alright.
a druid, so
Denver, you keep your calm. Jeremy, you're like, holy shit! What the hell is that? You're pissing your pants as
Can I quickly grab the blind people and just start trying to pull them back to the village direction?
underarm.
Oh yeah,
Carrie, you can't even open a pickle jar.
you're trying to drag them by the hands, and they're like, "What's going on?" Did someone?
We need to get back. We need you to bed and help you heal. See the war.
No. No. This is all part of the prophecy.
We have unleashed
Don't
Billy.
you want- if we get back, the faster you can see over the top way.
You know what, Nader? You're starting to sound like Harris.
I'm trying to help you here to get you better.
So yeah, you can technically resist, but he tries to pull you along.
I'm resisting.
Oh, son of a bitch.
So it takes you some time to get them back to the village because they're always wanting to stop, and there's 2 of them, and they're gonna be disruptive. So it takes you a little while, and they're stopping and they're dragging their feet as you're panicking because you see this kind of Cthulhu thingamajig. As you're like, I gotta get back to the village. I gotta go. Denver, you're kind of eyeing it. I'm not sure what you're thinking, but you're not losing your shit in regards to it. So yeah, you watch this Cthulhu thing fly off in the distance, and basically because of what it broke, the top of the tower literally collapses on itself.
It was truly a cruel.
It was an omen.
You don't see anything. You just hear the noise of what it emits.
It's an omen.
Just child, he's 60 years old. Here's the last phrase.
He's pointing off in a random direction. It's like, Omen! And he's pointing at a tree or an owl. There's an owl. And he's like, who? Omen! So yeah, Billy has escaped the fire inferno, but the tower can never be really reused in
Go
that
back
purpose.
for Billy.
I saved Billy from horrible experimentation.
We're not gonna have those freaks. So yeah, you guys do manage to get back to the village. Nadero, or Jeremy's character, gets you back as fast as possible. Although you drag your heels and you're like, yeah, the prophecy's been fulfilled. I heard it, kind of stuff. And he's not listening to any of this.
Who's the real winner? I'm a dungeon.
I got my eyes done. So yeah, it'll take you a week, and then I'll decide what has actually has transpired in regards to your eye surgery. Something will happen, but it'll take a week. And, technically, you guys would take the time to relax and all that. Jeremy, your character is like under its blankets, like shaking. Like, I hope to God Billy does not come back. And yeah, you can look for, kind of write that down in regards, and I'll keep a mental note that you're going to look for foxes. And everyone has a card in regards to the mad scientist. I'm not sure if you still, Denver, or you flick it away into the fire.
I would have put it in the fire. In fact, I probably would have used that to start the fire.
That's a nice touch. So yeah, that's gonna be the session for the day. I hope you guys liked it. I kind of wish I was able to record everything. I think I finally figured it out. So I got up to when you guys were doing the encounter on the second level, which is fun. Although I really wish I got that piece about the horse and all that. He did
What?
Well, when they were trying to sell Jeremy's character, the horse. I thought that was kind of funny.
Oh, that went on so long.
So
Best Buy all over.
yeah, like literally, he
He
upsold everything, and it's like, let's put some chrome and winter tires and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, you guys get back. You can decide what you do.
Okay.
Two of you definitely are in no condition to do a whole lot. But yeah, basically we'll call it, and I'll